The Astros won the 2022 MLB World Series, and now free agency is about to begin. My favorite part of the MLB season, it's all about money. So today we're going to be going team by team, and I'm going to be predicting where every free agent is going to be landing. I have a list of 83 free agents here, and I'm going to be telling you where each of them are going to be landing, and we're going to go team by team. I'm going to give you the details on like their luxury tax threshold and how close they are to that. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. Before we get started, remember to leave a like as well as subscribe. I worked very hard on this video, so make sure that you guys go ahead and do that. Go subscribe to the Breaks channel, the podcast, everything linked in the description, as well as go follow me on all my socials and my eBay store, all linked in the description. So not all 30 teams, I don't know if I have all 30 teams in here. Probably not, though, I'm assuming. It's probably close to that, but obviously every team is going to be signing somebody, but I only have 83 of them here, and so that's not all the free agents that exist. Some teams are so complete that I don't really know how much they're going to spend. So let's start off with a team in the LA Angels. Very disappointing this season. I have them getting 3 guys here out of these 83. Adam Frazier, Joey Gallo, and Mike Lorenzen, who they're going to be getting back, I believe. Gallo seems like such an Angels move because he seems like someone who should perform but probably won't. Adam Frazier is going to help-ish solidify the middle infield a little bit with Rendon and Walsh on the corners. The next team I have is the Astros. I have them getting 4 guys on this list. Michael Brantley, Yuli Gurriel, Rafael Montero, and Christian Vasquez, so all of them are actually re-signs. Nobody knew, but these are guys that I think are mandatory for them to get back. The Athletics, I have getting 1 guy on this list, that is David Peralta, coming over from the Rays, left fielder. Probably is going to help them a little bit, though they don't really spend much in free agency because they decide to rebuild all the time. The Braves, I have getting 3 guys on this list: Nathan Eovaldi, Trevor May, and Ross Stripling, guys to help out this pitching, which is really the reason why they got eliminated in the playoffs. They did not have a healthy Spencer Strider. They need a little bit of more pitching rotation depth. Fried, Strider, Morton, maybe. And then you have to see how Ian Anderson is. But if you can add these guys, these 2 starters, and Eovaldi has been really good, and you get Ross Stripling, who's a good depth piece, you kick him to the pen if you really want to, long reliever. Then Trevor May, who's been pretty solid for the Mets in his time there. The Brewers, I have getting 3 guys on this list as well: Johan Camargo, Rich Hill, and Omar Narvaez, who they'd be re-signing. Camargo is a utility type of player who I really think fits the scheme of the Brewers. Rich Hill would help give an extra guy in that rotation. I don't know how much they're going to be competing, though. The thing is, I don't know if they're going to go out and get any offensive help because they never seem to, even though they really do need it. The Cardinals, I have getting 2 guys on this list, and 2 big ones in Wilson Contreras and Clayton Kershaw. I've been screaming for Contreras to get over there ever since the trade deadline. In my video there, I said that he would be going there with Ian Happ, but that never happened. Now, there is a strong chance Wilson Contreras re-signs with the Cubs, but with all these other moves that I think the Cubs are going to make, which they're next, by the way, I think the Cardinals come in, swoop him up. Clayton Kershaw goes over there as well to help solidify the rotation. The Cubs, maybe the offseason's most interesting team. I have them going out, flexing the money that we all know their ownership group has. Getting Jacob deGrom, Matt Duffy, Brandon Nimmo, and bringing back Anthony Rizzo. That's a lot of money, but think about it this way. The outfield would be elite with Happ, Nimmo, Suzuki. The infield would be made that much better with Anthony Rizzo coming back, and Culberson can play a little bit of third base if Patrick Wisdom doesn't end up being what he really should be. And then deGrom gives you that 3rd guy in that rotation who can do it for you. That's why I like those guys to go over to the Cubs and help contend just a little bit more. The Diamondbacks, I have getting 2 guys on this list. I'm getting Archie Bradley and Jose Iglesias. Not really those big of moves, but they just kind of seem like fits for them. The Dodgers, another interesting team. I have them getting 4 guys on this list: Zach Britton, Aroldis Chapman, Dansby Swanson, and Michael Wacha. Britton and Chapman are going to be 2 bullpen pieces, funny enough, coming over from the Yankees. Chapman just seems like such a Dodgers move, like someone that nobody really wants, but they just come in and swoop him up and they'll make him good anyway. Dansby, because I don't think they're going to get Trey Turner back. I think it's going to be one of those stupid situations. And oh yeah, by the way, he'll be just fine for them. And Michael Wacha, another starting pitcher, a guy coming over from the Red Sox. I have the Giants revamping this team a little bit in this offseason. I have them getting Andrew Benintendi, Brandon Drury, Robbie Grossman, Craig Kimbrell, and Carlos Santana. This is a team that was majorly disappointing in the 2022 season after winning their division in 2021. If they let guys go like Brandon Belt, then they're going to be better off because, I mean, Carlos Santana is not that much better, but but probably suits you a little bit more. Now, you're gonna have to let Rodon leave. Yeah, it's gonna hurt, and you're probably gonna have one more year after this where you're gonna need to rebuild. But if you make these moves, it's going to set you up pretty decently, especially getting guys like Benintendi and Drury, who are younger guys who have good potential. I have the Guardians getting 3 guys on this list, and Tucker Barnhart, Corey Kluber, and Carlos Rodon. Yeah, that last one is a pretty big move, and I know it's not super likely, but I think that if the Guardians are going to make one big move, it's going to be for a starting pitcher, and that's who it's going to be there. Think about that rotation where you go Bieber, Rodon, and I said that they're going to get Kluber, McKenzie, Quantrill. Those are 5 bona fide starters. And the thing is, that's going to have to be the strength of their team because, yeah, they hit for contact, but they're a little bit top heavy. It gets a little bit toward the bottom of that lineup. I have the Mariners going out and getting 3 guys on this list, and Johnny Cueto, re-signing Mitch Haniger, and going out and getting Robert Suarez. Cueto is a starter to help that rotation, an older guy, yes. Mitch Haniger, they're going to re-sign because I just don't see a world where they don't. And then Robert Suarez to help that already really good bullpen. Quick side note, I actually think that Gene Segura is also going to be going over to this team with the loss of Adam Frazier. They're going to need another infielder. I recorded this before the Phillies declined his option. Now there is a possibility that they re-sign him, and quite frankly, I hope they do, but I think he's going to go to the Mariners in this one. I have the Mets getting 4 guys on this list. I have them getting Jesus Aguilar, Chad Green, Seth Lugo, and Jock Peterson. Yes, Peterson makes a lot of sense for them, especially if they lose Nimmo. They can kick Marte into center, you can put Canna into right, and then you can put Peterson in left, and you already still have a very good outfield. Aguilar, kind of like a bench bat. Green and Lugo, obviously strong bullpen pieces that I don't see them giving up. Although Green is from the Yankees, I do know that. The Orioles, I have getting 6 guys on this list, one of the highest. I have them getting the 2nd highest amount of players on this list in 6. They said they're going to spend money. I believe them, and I think that these moves are good for them. Elvis Andrus, Chris Bassett, Jesse Chavez, Nelson Cruz, Sean Manaea, and Trey Turner. Okay, we'll work down the list. Andrus, because I think Gunnar Henderson's going to be coming up some point next year. Andrus is a very tradable piece at the deadline, which I feel like that's the kind of thing that they're going for. Bassett to be that 1, maybe that number 2 in that rotation because you want Grayson Rodriguez to come up and evolve into your number 1. Jesse Chavez, just because I know it's another dealable piece of the deadline. Nelson Cruz, again, another dealable piece of the deadline. He could actually help your hitting, though. Sean Manaea, who could be that 3 starter in your rotation. Then I have Trey Turner, who obviously is going to be the superstar, probably playing shortstop for you. And when Gunnar Henderson comes up, then he can become your 2nd baseman, which is going to leave a guy like Jorge Mateo probably to be just a base runner strictly. I have the Padres getting 4 guys on this list. Jose Abreu, Josh Bell, Kenley Jansen, and Jameson Taillon. Very interesting offseason that I think that these guys have in front of themselves. You're saying, well, Sentry, why are they going to get 2 first basemen? Well, they kind of need a DH. They don't have like an everyday DH, and sometimes that's good, but I think that if you can bring in Bell, or bring him back rather, he can be your DH. He's a switch hitter. Imagine that kind of lethal DH. And yeah, Abreu's not great at defense, so you could rotate them if you want. But Abreu's a really good, solid hitter that I think would just rejuvenate this team. Then Jansen to solidify the back of the bullpen. We're losing Robert Suarez and then trading away to Taylor Rogers earlier in the year. And then I mean, you still have Josh Hader, but Jansen's probably moving out of a closer's role anyway. You're probably not going to keep him there anyway. So having Hader there is just fine. And then Jameson Taillon, because I think they're going to lose Manaea and Clevenger, be that 4, that 5 starter somewhere in there. The Phillies. I have them making 7 moves, which I believe is the highest on the list. Let me just count that. I do have them making 7 moves. Most of them are minor, but some big ones. Tyler Anderson, Steve Cishek, Brad Hand, Corey Knebel, Adam Ottavino, Martin Perez, David Robertson. A lot of pitching. Every last one of them is pitching. It's going to be Tyler Anderson is going to be the starter, and Martin Perez, who I think they're going to bring in. They just exercised the option for Aaron Nola. Eflin is leaving. He's a guy who is going to be a starter. Gibson leaving. So you're going to look at it this way. Wheeler, Nola, Ranger Suarez. Who do you have after that? I think if you bring in a Tyler Anderson to be your 3, that is so good for you. And if you're bringing in a Martin Perez, you're looking at a stacked rotation, and then you're bringing in all these bullpen pieces. Cishek, Hand, Knebel, Ottavino, Robertson. You're bringing back a few of those. You're revamping the bullpen, and I think that's the thing that the Phillies need to do. Now, you might be saying they need another bat. They do need a better contact bat somewhere in that infield. I mean, Segura and Stott are both good contact guys, and Bohm really too, but that first base spot is really killing me. My favorite player, Rhys Hoskins, it's looking shaky because he can't really put the ball in play super often. I have the Pirates getting 1 guy on this list. I think they're going to bring back Andrew McCutchen for possibly the end of his career. It'd be a storybook story, you know, and I think that that's the kind of thing that they'd do. I have the Rangers getting 3 guys on this list. Mike Clevenger, David Price, and the big one, Aaron Judge. I think that he is going to be on the Rangers. He's got the power to go deep in that place. He's going to help them contend with all those other powerhouses ahead of them, the Mariners, the Astros. And he's going to be on this team who's still rebuilding, getting those big free agents. That's a good place to start. Now you just need some help from your farm system. I got the Rays getting 2 guys on this list here, Jackie Bradley Jr. and Martin Maldonado, a couple of guys who you can probably platoon. And it's just kind of a couple of guys that I think that would fit their scheme. I have the Red Sox getting 3 guys on this list. Michael Conforto, Cesar Hernandez, and Will Myers. They need outfield help desperately. Cesar Hernandez is going to be there alongside Trevor Story because Bogarts, he's probably leaving. He did just opt out of his contract, so he is more than likely going to be leaving. I have the Reds picking up 1 guy on this list. That's Vince Velasquez, just some kind of innings eater. I got the Rockies also picking up just 1 guy on this list, and I think that is going to be Adam Duvall, who actually is an interesting one because he's coming off of injury, and I don't know if he's going to be healthy for the whole year, but when he was healthy, he was really, really good, and I think the Rockies might be able to use him to become an average team. I got the Royals picking up 2 guys on this list, and Carlos Carrasco and Kyle Gibson. Again, just a couple of innings eaters, both in the latter part of their career, both well into their 30s. I think that this is a place where they can kind of wind it down a little bit. I got the Tigers picking up 1 guy, and that is Robinson Chirinos, because I think Tucker Barnhart's probably gone, as I put him gone earlier in the video, so Chirinos would come in and kind of replace that void. I got the Twins picking up 3 guys here, Zach Greinke, JD Martinez, and re-signing Gary Sanchez. Re-signing Gary Sanchez because I don't know who else they get. Getting Zach Greinke because they need an innings eater who's going to give you like a 3.4 ERA somewhere in there. I mean, they need an ace, but this is going to be what they're going to have to settle for now, because they're probably rebuilding right now, if I'm being honest, once Correa left. And JD Martinez because they also need a DH, and this is going to be a very good spot for him to be. The White Sox, I have getting 4 guys here. Matt Carpenter, Jose Quintana, Mike Zunino, and Carlos Correa. Just think about it. Carlos Correa would be so good for the White Sox. They need a second infielder. Anderson can be moved over to second base. Correa is going to be moved at short. Obviously, it's where he plays. Gold glove. Anderson sucks at defense. Put him over at second. He'll be probably a little bit better. The other 3, Carpenter, Quintana, Zunino. Grandal just kind of was awful this year. Are you going to really trust him? He was bad. And if you do, you can platoon. And Quintana to help out the rotation as well. Our last team is the Yankees, so I actually have getting 6 guys because, you know, they always make moves. Brandon Belt, Kurt Casale, Tyler Naquin, Taylor Rogers, Noah Syndergaard, and Xander Bogaerts. Yes, the last of those is the most outrageous thing you've probably ever heard in your life, but it makes just so much sense, man. They need a shortstop. IKF probably gone, or at least a second baseman, because Bogaerts would probably be better at second base anyway. Trade away Glaber for something. You need a Bogaerts guy to hit 300 for you in that lineup. Belt to play first base because Rizzo's gone, obviously. Casale just to be a second catcher for you, maybe a third. It depends on how you look at it. Naquin to be a platoon guy off the bench. And Rogers to be in the back end of that bullpen. There you have it. That is 85 free agents that I have going to those respective teams. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, remember to leave a like as well as subscribe. Go check out all the channels and everything else linked in the description. I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the new content coming out. We have top 50 players from 2022. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.